Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, flu season is here and this year's flu vaccine is different. We'll tell you why.
And if your cell phone bill sends you into a state of shock, we'll show you how to keep track of your charges.
Plus, there may be a more effective way to detect lung cancer. We'll give you the details.
And a special guest will explain how you can be part of the Torrance Centennial and the city's history. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Here are your top stories. Most L.A. County residents balked at the $1.6 billion the county has spent on security at LAX. A recent study concludes those billion-dollar security measures have helped make LAX much safer. But the report also states that the airport needs to improve emergency management, police coordination, and other functions. Besides adding functions, taking some away may also help improve security. The airport is considering a risk-based system to determine how to screen certain passengers. They may create a trusted traveler program to expedite passengers that have been cleared by a comprehensive background check. The nation's third busiest commercial airport has been identified as one of the potential targets for terrorists in California.
We have a brief city council meeting to tell you about.
Fire Department was honored at the recent City Council meeting. They participated in the recent Firefighter Olympics and took home a gold medal in softball. Two Torrance firefighters were also part of the LA County flag football team, and they won gold there as well. And in the longboard surfing competition, Torrance Fire brought home a silver. The department is one of just 12 California fire departments to rank as Class 1. Nationwide, there are only 57 Class 1 fire departments. The city will submit a nearly $7 million grant application to the Federal Transit Administration. The money would be used for various transit initiatives, including the purchase of 6 new alternative gas buses. And Centennial bricks are currently for sale. As a sponsor of the upcoming celebration, the city has been allotted 2 bricks, one which will read City of Torrance, the other would bear the city's logo. Later in the show, we'll bring you more information on how you can purchase a Centennial brick.
Do not adjust your television. Yes, this car says yellow cab, but the cab isn't yellow. It's actually pink. For Breast Cancer Awareness Month, South Bay Yellow Cab and its sister Fleet United Checker Cab have gone pink. South Bay Yellow Cab has donated $1 from every ride taken in their pink cab. They also donated an additional $3,000, some of which will help provide transportation for patients in need. And at this recent press conference in front of Torrance City Hall, South Bay Yellow Cab, United Checker Cab, and other sister fleets presented the American Cancer Society with more than $10,000.
It's the end of an era for those of us familiar with a popular spot on Crenshaw Boulevard. They've been a major part of the Torrance community for more than 60 years. For Halloween, Bashe Farms was known as the place for pumpkins and gourds at great prices. But this recent Halloween will be their last. The seasonal fruit and vegetable stand usually closes in November to reopen in February. The stand will not reopen next year. Bashe Farms has operated on a small scale for several years after increased competition from farmers markets and stores like Whole Foods. Tom Bashe, who farmed the land since 1964, died in May. His wife, Maya, considered the face of the stand, passed away in 2009. And after much consideration of the necessary long operating hours, family members have decided to make the closure permanent. Well, up next, consider it a health story and a consumer story. We'll show you how to avoid cell phone bill shock.
Plus, there are changes to this year's flu vaccination. We'll tell you why they are so important.
Let's take a look at the costumes at the annual Halloween Carnival at Wilson Park.
Once again, the Vikings. It's elementary. Thank you again, Claire.
Thank you. Very warm too. And you can pull me.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
He scores! We're going into overtime. I'll tell you, Duncan has been great in the clutch all. It's anybody's game at this point. This could be an MVP season.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
You've probably seen those commercials. A consumer opens up his cell phone bill, which is reams of paper long and amounts of thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, for some of us, this can be a reality. Reporter Hiba Sama tells us how you can avoid cell phone bill shock.
To get a $300,000, $500,000 bill is unacceptable. I actually had a client at one of my major accounts just get a $9,200 bill.
No, Joel Saltzman isn't talking about credit card bills, but rather the extra charges on monthly cell phone bills. And when it comes to bill shock, one thing is usually to blame.
International roaming is the fourth category where we have issues, the carriers have issues with overage, and I think this is a problem that's been around for a long time.
One FCC Commission study shows that more than 80% of about 30 million American consumers have been victims of high cell phone bills, with no warnings from their carriers. And now government regulations may help consumers avoid bill shock.
Initiative is going to require the carriers be preemptive and send you a text message if they see that your usage patterns are deviating from the norm. In other words, if your phone is making phone calls in China all of a sudden and you normally don't go to China, they're going to contact you by a text message.
The bill shock agreement idea came about after the FCC received thousands of complaints about high cell phone bill charges. Even though Republicans have criticized the White House for expanding government regulations, President Obama issued a statement in support of the bill, saying, quote, "Far too many Americans know what it's like to open up their cell phone bill and be shocked. Our phones shouldn't cost us more than the monthly rent or mortgage."
Once you sign a contract and you state this is how much you're paying, it should stay that way.
Saltman says there are ways to protect yourself from these high charges. Cell phone users should regularly check monthly bills before they come out. They should also make sure they're on the right plan.
These days, I always recommend to people, if you don't have a text message plan, pay the $5 and get your 250 text messages. Pay the $10 or $20, get unlimited text messages.
And for those roaming charges,
using the internet instead of a mobile network. And by doing that, you can communicate for pennies on the dollar, if not totally free.
The new guidelines are set to take effect in the next 18 months, with AT&T, T-Mobile, and other large wireless providers signed on to the plan. For CitiCABLE 3, I'm Hiba Samad.
For more information on mobile phone bill shock regulations, go to the Federal Communications Commission website at fcc.gov.
Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death, and early lung cancer often does not cause symptoms. CitiCABLE 3's Jacqueline Quinn reports on a study that shows how a new detection method could save thousands of lives.
New research published in the New England Journal of Medicine says X-ray computer imaging for smokers and past smokers can now reduce lung cancer deaths by 20%. Dr. John Stoneburner, a lung surgeon, explains more on this medical breakthrough.
The cancers can grow very large in the lung before they're detected by a regular X-ray, and certainly if they become symptomatic, they're often very advanced as well.
Dr. Stoneburner points out the lung cancer detected by CT scans and X-rays are very different.
So, on a regular X-ray, you do not see it.
In this CT scan, he points out the tumor is definitely more visible. Meanwhile, Dr. Darren Sinkowitz, who treats patients outside of the operating room, says this is a huge advance for fighting the disease.
Over the past 20 years, really, we've had nothing that has been shown to reduce death from lung cancer in terms of screening. They've tried blood tests, specimens of sputum or mucus, yearly X-rays.
And now, with this new method of lung cancer detection, there's a new concern about radiation exposure. But Dr. Sinkowitz says these CT scans use less radiation.
People are concerned about the radiation doses, so this scan used a much lower dose than conventional CAT scan. In addition, this study proved that by screening patients on an annual basis, you could reduce the risk of death from lung cancer.
Professionals in the medical community say it's the same amount of radiation people are exposed to while flying in an airplane.
The number of lung cancer deaths across the United States is already staggering, but here in LA County, nearly 3,000 people die from the disease each year. In Torrance and in the South Bay Area, it's the third leading cause of death behind heart disease and stroke. But still, lung CT scans aren't recommended for everyone.
We're recommending that any patient that has had a significant exposure to cigarettes, either themselves smoking or secondhand smoke, then they should, in our recommendations, have a CAT scan for screening for lung cancer.
While other options, such as MRI scans, do not use radiation, it's only now used to scan for lung cancer that's already spread to other tissues. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Jacqueline Quinn.
Thank you, Jacqueline. For more information on your lung health, go to the American Lung Association website at lungusa.org. And for more information on the lung cancer program at Torrance Memorial Medical Center, go to torrancememorial.org.